Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's Profit Maximizer Moment. This show is dedicated to helping business owners dramatically improve their bottom line with our weekly profit maximizing tips. That's hard to say sometimes. Profit maximizing tips. Anyways, you can use now. I'm your host and coach, Wayne Bilal. I'm also the founder of a local CPA firm that works with business owners to help them make more money and keep more of it from the IRS. I do that with our profit coaching programs and our tax planning systems. Tax planning systems save my clients millions of dollars, truthfully, over the last 10 years. We do it all legally because, like I say every week, don't wish to share a jail cell with my clients. I'm going to jump right in right now. We're going to talk about something that you really need to pay attention to as a business owner, which is, are your customers' buying behavior changing? Let's take an example. If you're old enough to remember Blockbuster and how that worked, um, people were running to the video stores, grabbing a DVD, VHS tape originally, coming home and playing it. So now, all of a sudden, Netflix comes in. Blockbuster should have been, but they didn't notice the change where people didn't want to do that anymore. So they did it through the mail. Then streaming service came. And that led to cable companies not paying attention and network news not paying attention to where they're missing the idea that um, hmm, people don't need cable anymore. They can basically create their own TV watching depending on what they like. All right, YouTube TV, Fubo, whatever. There's a bunch of them out there. And we're already starting to see a little bit of a change where people aren't liking paying for streaming services. Actually, seeing people, I read an article recently of some people that are going back to owning the DVD because they got something to own and they don't have to watch the, as he wrote, junk on TV. He said a little more colorful than that. He can watch an old movie that he likes. All right. So things changing, and I'm just looking at one area, entertainment. All right. Think about how Amazon has changed, you know, the buying patterns of people. Instead of running to the store, you can literally buy. Think about DoorDash. Don't have to go to a restaurant. So see, these are buying patterns that have disrupted the market. All right. CPA firms, all of a sudden, CPA firms for 100 years did tax returns, audits, and, you know, bookkeeping. Well, then you had QuickBooks come out, and it's really pretty easy for people to do their own bookkeeping mostly. And you know, just to help them clean it up and train them, maybe. But I used to do a lot of training, and then there's a ton of YouTube videos that are free. Hard to compete with free. Remember that. Okay. And tax programs are out there. So all of a sudden you got, the simple tax returns CPA firms don't do anymore. So what do you need to do? Look, understand you need to anticipate your customers' buying behavior in the near future. Buying behavior is the decision process and acts of the prospect in the buying and using of your products. It is vital that you keep an eye out for changes to the following questions. Why do your customers make the purchases they make? Secondly, what factors influence the customer's purchases? And three, I'll get three up there. Three, changing factors in our society. You have to understand the customer's buying pattern, because when you do, you're much better positioned to predict the buyer's reaction to your marketing position and strategy, and be able to create a marketing mix that satisfies the customers based on what the customer wants to buy now, how they want to buy it now, and when they want to buy it. All right. So to do that, you kind of need to understand the stages of the buying process. It's vital that you know the major stages, and that you review it constantly to see how your customers are changing how they buy. The buying stages that any customer goes through for any product or service are pretty much the same. First, they have a problem that they recognize. All right, they realize they have a problem that they need to solve. Need a plumber. Need an air conditioner. Need my tax return done. Whatever. Okay. Then they look for an information search so that they can find what's available out there. Then they evaluate the alternatives. They make a purchasing decision at that point, and then they finally actually make the purchase. Very often, but not always, step 4 and 5 happen at the same time, but not necessarily. Now, you want that to happen, but that's not the way it is. And then finally, and this is a part most business owners forget, they do an evaluation after the purchase to see if they made a good decision. Now, they may not do all of these consciously, and they don't go, well, first I'm going to do this. No, it's just what we all do. Okay, so recognizing the major recent changes that affect most customers dramatically. This is things that are happening now that just didn't happen 20 years ago, 10, even sometimes 10 years ago in some niches. The consumer now has the ability to research the possible solutions to their problem. The consumer easily can research you and your company. The consumer is easily compare prices if you're selling on price. They're able to remove barriers, can purchase from anywhere in the world that offers a solution they want. Fiverr is one example of a company where I can get things, I can get a marketing piece done. Might come out of the Philippines, might come out of Eastern Europe, might come out of South America, could come out of America. But I mean, literally, I have choices now. All right. All this information often results, though, in overload. Consumers much more savvy and distrustful of blatant advertising and salespeople. They want to buy, but they hate to be sold. This is much more true now than it ever was. The ability of the customer to impact the firm by positively and negatively reviewing the company on any transaction is something that didn't happen before. The importance of social proof. Did somebody else use you and have good results? All right. They're now used to speed of communication and the delivery of a solution. They want it now. All right. How are all these things affecting a customer's buying decision is what you need to sit down and write down. All right. So that's kind of, watch this video again, look at those major changes I talked about and make sure you're covering them. Okay. And then another thing that I would recommend you do is who else could use your product or service that you are not currently marketing to? Is there a particular niche your creation of the avatars would be a great prospect for your products or services? We talked about creating avatars last week. So go back and watch that. You create an avatar and then you go, I'm not marketing to this particular group. Maybe I should. Remember, the avatar is based on your best customers. So you want more of those best customers. Where can I find more of those? That's how it is. Look, there's a lot here, but it's kind of important. And really, in today's world, you need to stand out of it because, man, things are changing like daily. It's crazy. What is AI going to do? It's already making changes, but how is it going to affect your business? You can either be Blockbuster or you can be Netflix. You can be an old cable company where you're losing subscribers, or you can be something new, one of the new online streaming services, much cheaper. And think about their model. They don't need to have miles and thousands of miles of wiring and equipment in every home. You're getting, as long as you have internet, you can get it anywhere. So totally disrupting the market. So what's happening to you? Pay attention. What's AI going to do to you? Who knows? What's the government changes do to you? Who knows? All right. At one time, a lot of marketing was happening through fax machines. Well, fax machines hardly exist now. And then the law was changed where you're not supposed to be able to do that. I still get some, but who cares? We have a fax machine. I don't know if I know how to use it. I'm sure I could figure it out. I had one for years. Anyways, until next time, this is Wayne Blau saying, let's make this our most profitable year ever. And thank you very much. Have a great weekend. God bless, and go to church. We all need a little help. Thank you. Bye.